Hello, Genius friends. I'm so excited to share this project. Actually, I'm going to share two projects with you. I'm so excited. So I want to start off by giving you our supply list. We're going to do a couple of different art projects or creative expression. Sometimes art feels like a big job. Creative expression you can just have fun with. This is what came in your Trader Joe's bag. Thank you, Trader Joe's. They gave us bags so we could make art. That was pretty awesome. What else we got here? A Sharpie. I understand you have a black Sharpie.
Or a marker. Either one. Black marker. Mm-hmm.
You have a canvas.
Some of you have a square. Some of you have a rectangle.
Okay. You have paint. Notice there's a brush in the paint. And there's another brush here. Why will we have two brushes? Let me tell you about that. Because what we're going to be doing, as you will see when we draw, we're going to do a shape fill project, and then we're going to do something else, a wonderful mess project. Recycle. I'm sure you can find some way to do that. You can always reuse this. And this is a kind of paper, actually, you usually use for baking. It's parchment paper. We're going to use that for our palette. Happen to have some of that sitting around. Very important. For the artist look, you have to have a kerchief that you tie around your head.
Or a hat. Something that makes them feel comfortable to be an artist. Beret. Maybe they want to tie something else. Maybe they want to put a hat on.
Or you could just let your hair hang down. It's
okay. Whatever makes them feel an artiste, correct?
Yes. All right, so this is a foam brush, and it's going to make doing the job a lot easier. And you can take your foam brush. What I am going to end up doing is cut a little nib off of each end. A triangle.
And cut it in a triangle.
Make an angle. And see, then you've got the soft spot here. You've got a lot of area here that you can spread paint with, but this you can get up close with. And then for the really close stuff, you've got your little brush here to get you in close to the lines, okay? So let me get this out of the way because that's not going to be something we work with yet. You'll see that come though. And a measuring instrument because we're going to be working with some geometric shapes. First thing you have to do with this wonderful, thank you Trader Joe's, this wonderful bag, is take the handle off because we want a nice flat surface to do our painting on.
And last week, of course, was Earth Day, so thank you Trader Joe's, encouraging us and our students to reuse and repurpose. So all of their supplies came in this bag, but now we're actually going to use this bag and we're going to repurpose it.
I had an artist friend who did a whole series of paintings on Trader Joe's bags. So, and they're really neat.
So what are you doing right now, Dr. Hillgood? You're just taking off
the handle off because you want the paper to be flat when we do our project.
A flat art surface. Perfect.
All right.
And tell us about the bag in terms of an artist, the side that we want to work on.
There are two different sides that you could work with. I like this one here. The reason I like this one, I'm going to cut it out, is because there's no glue seam here. So let me go ahead and cut out.
So we're cutting the front of the bag, pretty much.
Along the big side, because there's a side, there's a side here, but it's not that big.
And as our
this
fifth graders,
is going to give us more area to work with.
Right, and our
area being length times width.
Yeah, length times width, and then we're going to focus on volume here in a few weeks. So I like the fact that this bag is three-dimensional. So you're cutting out.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to cut down to the end of it. I wonder what size they make these things. Let's find out.
Oh, and I love that we're into geometry and measurements, so our students will be able to figure out the dimensions of that side panel.
Okay, so I'm coming down to the end. Try to make it nice and clean. You can finish it if there's some little edges left over. It's not a problem.
Can you open up the bag a little bit and kind of show the students what part of the bag you're cutting out? There you go. You're cutting a panel.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
So we're just following along basically on the fold lines, right? And if we're
Yeah, the full
Very
lines,
careful.
yeah, the
Okay.
creases, yeah.
Steady with our hand, and we work on our precision.
And you know, it doesn't have to be something that you rush through. You can take a little time with this because you're going to make a really cool painting. And you want it to be nice, so might as well take your time cutting a piece of paper.
Oh, I like how you're focusing. You're doing it very slowly. You're not rushing. You're not. And as we do for many of our art projects, you can always pause this video, slow it down. As you can see, we're focusing on using the lines that are already
Finding
there.
the bottom crease again. This is the bottom part of the bag. I'm just going to cut it at the bottom crease.
We're just coming out the side panel. I like that. Thank you for clarifying that, Dr. Hilgert.
All right.
Perfect.
All right, and so I think I'm going to use this one because there's no glue seam here.
Wow. So it creates a panel for art.
Yes.
So we're repurposing, reusing, and we're going to put that aside because we might use it for something else. Maybe there's an
Okay.
art project. So great. As long as we're not putting it in our earth and we're not putting it in our landfill, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So is that the activity? So now
Well, we have to measure the panel size so we know what size we're working with now. So this could be, this is actually 12 inches, and this is 14. The main thing is this, we're 12 by 14.
So the area is 12 by 14, 12 inches by 14.
Yeah.
And we, as we continue to do our studies in geometry, we're going to let the students calculate that area. So,
Okay, so we know what the perimeter is now, and you can do the area with those numbers as well. You have 14 for one side, and you have 12 for the other. So you can multiply that and find the area, right? Okay, let's move on. I want to share a couple of different things. There are two big side panels for the bags, and if you can get a close-up on this, you'll see that this panel has a glue seam where the paper is glued together, and this one doesn't. So it's a little bit, it's going to catch. So we want to go ahead and just use the one that's just paper, okay? Okay, what we're going to do is start our shape fill. We've got all of our papers, extra papers out of the way here. All right, go ahead. Okay. What we're going to do is we're just going to relax and we're just going to make shapes on this paper.
And so by the end of the week, after we've covered section 6 about change, right? Change and flow, and it's better to go with the flow, right, Dr. Hilgood?
Yes.
Better accept changes. So how do we do this? What are we going to do now?
What I want you to do is try to keep your pen moving for 30 seconds. All I'm going to do is, you may not even need 30 seconds. I'm just going to kind of draw a few shapes. I like to make curvy shapes.
2, 3. Is the whole idea to fill up, don't lift up your pen, but fill up the whole space, right? With just a flow.
7.
I like how you're holding it down with your other hand to be safe. 8.
Okay, so we have the beginning of our project. And I'm just going to kind of show you how to mix paint. And notice we have two different things here. This is a towel. Ideally, what you want to do is have a towel that you can wipe your brush off with. If you put some water on the brush and you mix things up, you can dry it off on this. You could use a paper towel if you don't have something that you could put in the washing machine, but the idea is not to waste paper. You want to try and just be gentle on the earth if you can.
it could be a towel, it
Yes.
could be something that they're dabbing, right? All right.
Yeah, okay.
So now explain what a palette is, Dr. Hilgood.
A palette is where you mix paints. It's just a flat surface that you mix paints on.
For artists, so that they're creating an art piece.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just going to pour a little bit of paint. Okay, so I put some yellow over here. I'm going to put a little bit, maybe put a little bit over here too. Just to give you an example. The main thing when you're mixing colors is you always take the lighter color and you add a little bit of the darker color. That's how it works. One dab, this is kind of light, just a touch, and put it in there and see how it's getting to a darker green now. Notice how I'm just adding a
Wow.
little bit at a time, and let me try one more little dab.
Wow.
I'm
look
just
at
barely
that.
touching the blue.
Yeah, you're just adding
And it's
a
getting
little bit.
darker. And
Here's
what
your-
I'm going to do is I'm going to finish filling in this red here. And then what we're going to do is I'll do one more color, and then I'm going to kind of go on my own and finish my project, which is like all of us are going to be working on our own. Let's just bring it up to the edge. Can you get a close-up on this?
Mhm.
Okay. Notice how I'm getting close to this area here. I want to try and avoid going into that. I'm just going to try and stay with the lines being close. I might go back with the small brush and just fill in the stuff that's super close that I can't accurately get with this. I think I'm going to do that. Let's get the little
The
brush
smaller
in there.
areas you want
Yeah.
to use your brush.
Yeah, let me actually go the inside first, and then I'll make it happy with a
So the sponge is making it easier for the bigger
Yeah,
spaces. I
this
like
is
that.
just
Goes a
filling
little
it in.
faster. Yeah.
okay, all right.
Good job.
And let me just, tighten up the outside with this little brush. Come on, little brush. You can do this. So notice I'm getting so close to the lines here. Just do your best. Make a nice, pretty project. Something that you deserve because you are a genius and you are a creative warrior. Notice I'm just going in and cleaning up the lines at the end. So everything's going to look really nice. And try to keep those lines, those black lines that I made originally, good to go. Just on their own, they're still there. You can see them. You can see how the shapes all are divided up. And you can go.
Oh, it's going to look really great. And
Okay, all right, so this is taking a little bit, it's taken about, I don't know, maybe a half an hour to do this. I'm gonna finish it out now. I just wanted to leave the last part to show you. And I'm gonna just cheat a little bit to get some more white on this and see if I can spread it out and go around the edges. And then we have another little project we can do. Let's just get this white on here. So we pretty much used all of our paints in our paint kit, which is cool. And you can get closer up with the small brush. Look at that, I covered the blue, making the lines a little bit tighter that way.
all right, you can always stop the video, take your time. It might take you 2 days. That's why we want to give you 2 days to do this. So this is during your heart asynchronous time. We wanted to make this video for you. You can stop and pause, take a look. It doesn't have to look like, yours is gonna look like your own. So I can't wait to see your end product.
All right. Okay, I'm just gonna spread this out now that I've got it there. Just try and make it nice and smooth and even. I think I'm okay with leaving the paper with a couple of drips on there in the middle,
Kind of unique.
just to give it character.
Of course. Wow, I like the white. That really gets some pop.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So there's our shape fill project. Now there's another step. We're not going to do it today, but we're going to let this dry, and we can't wait to see these. So, Dr. Heelgood.
Okay. So let me just show you.
Wow, look at that. Wow. Check it out.
Yay.
Check it out. Wow, that's fantastic.
Okay.
Look at that. Wow, that's fantastic. Nice. Good job. All right. So we're going to let that dry. We're going to do a second step to that, but not today, right?
Yes.
That's probably going to be
So I'm
another
gonna set
time.
this aside here.
Oh, look at that's fantastic.
Right.
All right, everyone. I can't wait. Look at all this.
Okay, so now we have all this wonderful paint left over in the palette. And I took a little bit, I have to admit, I took some of the paint and I dripped some of it on the paper as well.
And they can do whatever they want,
You
right?
can do
They're
whatever you
gonna-
want. You
they-
can just keep it. I'm going to just damp this up a little bit so we can get a little bit more off of it. Some of it's gotten a little dry.
So make sure we moisten up the paint. If it might be dry, you want to kind of moisten it up on this paper. We're going to do something very fun. So I want to make sure all those, if there's any dry, just put a little water. Don't necessarily mix up the paints. And if you want to add more, that's fine.
Okay.
Here we go.
So we have a palette. Remember, you've got it. Remember to use the rough side. And we're just going to
Wow.
drop it on there.
Okay.
Okay. This is how I made that wonderful painting that's the cover of the book that you have.
Show us.
I
what
don't
to
know
do.
if it's going to turn out like that. It's a very spontaneous project. And
All
what
right.
I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's move this water. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a turn.
So a quarter turn, because we're doing geometry. There you go. I like that. A quarter turn.
And let's see what happens. And I'm going to press it down again.
I wonder what shape that is as we're doing
Let's see what
geometry. Wow, look at that, everyone. And you can keep turning if you want. Can they turn it again if they wanted?
You know what you can do also if you want? I mean, they're different. Look at how cool that turned out.
Wow,
Right?
look at that.
I'm going to just kind of, I'm going to take this and I'm just going to kind of go, I think I'll do it with a brush.
Wow, what a great piece
I
of
wonder if
art.
I could do a swirl by, let me try this one here.
Oh, so I can go after and make it what I want.
Yeah. I could
Can you show it to the front and maybe there, well, kind of in front of you so we can get in front of the camera. There you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
All
Oh,
right.
look at that. I can make a swirl. Look at that, everyone.
I could dab a little bit.
Yeah, or maybe I could lay it down again and turn it. Let's lay it down again in a different direction. Let's see what that looks like.
Okay.
I'm curious. Maybe lay it on the opposite. See where the thick one is? Maybe put it there. Try it again. Lay it down flat. There you go. Maybe do it twice. Who knows? I'm saying do it twice. Press it down. Put some pressure on it. Maybe turn it again.
Here we go.
Interesting. Look at that, everyone. Wow.
Okay.
All right. And then?
All right. So there's your wonderful mess painting. It can be whatever you want to do. And if you want, you can work it afterwards too. You can, like I think I did, you can, look at this.
Be it whatever they want, right?
Yeah.
Look at that. Wow. Congratulations. So we get 2 for 1. 2 pieces of art with 1. So what a wonderful mess. Thank you, Dr. Hillgood. I can't wait. So let's make sure we put our name on the back. What a wonderful mess.